Welcome to this tutorial on learning to code in C. This video will cover everything you need to get started with C programming, including setting up your environment, understanding the basics of C, and writing your first C program. Before we start coding in C, we need to make sure we have the right tools installed on our computer. For this tutorial, we'll be using Code Blocks, which is a popular and widely used integrated development environment for C programming. You can download Code Blocks from their official website. Once you've downloaded and installed it, you should be ready to start coding in C. I'll also drop a link in the description to the download. Now that we have our environment set up, let's dive into the basics of C programming. C is a high-level programming language that was developed in the 1970s by Dennis Ritchie. It's widely used for system programming, embedded systems, and developing operating systems. The syntax of C is relatively simple and concise. C programs consist of functions that contain statements that are executed in a specific order. C has several data types, including integers, characters, floats, and supports basic control structures like loops and conditionals. You'll learn more about everything here as we progress. Now, let's write our first C program together. Open up Code Blocks and create a new project by clicking on File, New, Project, choose Console Application and click on Go. Name your project and click Next. Choose C as the programming language and click Finish. In the main.c file that is automatically generated for us, type in the following code. Now hit Ctrl and S on the keyboard together to save the file. This surely does look scary at first, but let me break this down for you to make it less intimidating. This program simply prints out the message "Hello World" to the console. The #include line at the beginning of the code tells the compiler to include the standard input-output library, which allows us to use the printf function to print output to the console. The printf function is used to print any text onto the console, and all lines of code in C end with a semicolon. Let's take a closer look at the code we've written within the braces of the main function. You'll notice that each line of code ends with a semicolon. This is because in C programming, each statement must end with a semicolon to mark the end of a statement and to separate it from the next one. In the example we've shown, the line of code uses the printf function to write a message to the console. This message is enclosed within double quotes, as this is the syntax for the printf function in C. Whenever we want to write anything on the console, we'll use the printf function and enclose the message within double quotes. Understanding the syntax of C programming is crucial for writing effective code, and paying attention to the placement of semicolons and other syntax elements is a key part of that. Now that we've written our program, let's compile it and run it. Click on Build, Build and Run to compile and run your program. This will compile our code and create an executable file, also known as an exe file, which you might have seen in some programs. The program will then output the message "Hello World" to the console, as we can see. And that's it. You've successfully set up your environment, learned the basics of C programming, and written your first C program using Code Blocks. In the next video, we'll dive deeper into data types, variables, constants. We'll also cover input-output functions and operators in C. Thank you for watching and happy coding.